At midday, the training grounds are filled with heat. But at dawn, only a cool chill lingers. I like this hour. I have, ever since my days as an attendant to the Silver Oracle. When I sweep the frost-covered training grounds at dawn, it feels as though I'm brushing away the frost settled in my heart as well. With my mind composed, I welcome the disciples who arrive with the sunrise. But that day was different. There was a young trainee that arrived before me. Before I realized it, I found myself watching the child from the shadows. It was an hour when drowsiness should have had its grip. Yet the child seemed restless, full of drive and determination. As if he were unable to rest after missing training. It was a familiar sight. I kept watching until Jin tapped me on the shoulder. I must have been staring so intently that I didn't even notice Jin approaching. So, why were you spying on him, sister? It was a question I hadn't expected. Until Jin asked, I hadn't even come to realize that I was hiding. That's right. Why was I hiding? That child is unsettling. Why? That child has no talent. Just as one can't conceal the passion they have. Their aptitude for martial arts naturally reveals itself. That's why I could tell. That child lacked the talent. You are different from me. That's why I felt pity for that child. To see effort that will never be repaid. Because it's obvious how this heart full of passion will eventually collapse into despair. Jin tilted his head. Is that how you see it? I thought he was just like me. It was an unexpected answer. Yet, it made sense at the same time. Their talent for martial arts were at complete opposites. But that burning passion, it was unmistakably Jin. What was it that made a simple attendant of the Silver Oracle like me into one of the masters of the SilverKnights? 99 out of 100 people in the temple would answer talent. But my answer is different. What caught my eye was Jin, back in those days, who was just like this child. When I unconsciously started copying that passion that burned within him, that was when my talent started to blossom. Talent is secondary. Your standards are always too high. I never could accept those words. After all, they came from the very same person that made me raise my standards in the first place. Still, I must admit, I did not want to disappoint that child. I didn't want to give up on them. Perhaps it isn't the child's talent that's lacking, but rather my talent for teaching. Let me first figure out what it is I can teach. I've gotten a chance to spar with my fellow masters for the first time in a while. It has been far too long. So much time has passed that the seasons have changed. With Jin's talent, I can only imagine what kind of growth he experienced in that time. On the other hand, I have been far too busy. Compiling martial arts manuals for my disciples left me little time for personal training. This spar was meant to remind me of what I'd been lacking. I wondered if I could last 30 exchanges. 28, 29, 30. Contrary to my worries, I made it to 30. It seemed that Jin was going easy on me, as I had not sparred in a while. But Jin stepped back, shrugging and saying he didn't hold back at all. It seems that you've finally taken root among the SilverKnights. Master Tyrant teased with a grin on his face. When I stood there bewildered, Master Victor said it wasn't a joke. Everyone said that my arts began to show signs of logic over instinct. By laying down the fundamentals for my disciples, it seems that I've been given the chance to solidify my own as well. That means my fundamentals were lacking until now. With that remark, all of them turned around and covered their ears. It was their way to not hear me say, I am not qualified to be a master. But I had no intention of saying such things. Because I finally felt that I was a true master of the SilverKnights.